Now we are discussing the forward and backward propagations in the deep neural network. We already know this is a 3-layer network. This is a 4-layer network. In this 4 layers, already we can calculate the matrix size of W1, it is 4 by 4, and we can tell the matrix size of W2, it is again 4 by 4, W3, it is again 4 by 4, and W4, it is 1 by 4. So in the first step, in the forward propagation, we are taking the input as AL minus 1, and we are finding the output AL. In order to calculate the output AL, so we are taking the input AL minus 1 and we are calculating the output AL. In order to calculate the AL, we require two steps. In the first step, we are calculating the ZL. To calculate the ZL, we are taking the help of W and AL minus 1. We are writing it as a WL into AL minus 1 plus BL. And by using this ZL, we are calculating the activation functions. So AL is equal to, by applying the activation function. So if the activation function is sigmoid function, we can write sigma of ZL. If the activation function is tan H, then we can write tan H of ZL. If the activation function is a rectified linear unit, then we can write ReLU of ZL. Now, while calculating ZL in the forward propagation, we are keeping the WL and B and ZL, these values as cache values, because we use again this ZL in the back propagation also. That's why the concept of the cache is introduced here. We are storing those values in order to calculate in the backward propagation. In the backward propagation, you can observe we are giving the DAL as input and we are getting the DAL minus 1 as output. The DAL means it is the differentiation of the loss function with respect to AL, and DAL minus 1 is a differentiation of the loss function with respect to the AL minus 1. In this process, we are obtaining two parameters, DWL and DBL. We use these two parameters, we use these two equations, we use these two values in the gradient descent to find the minimum value of the cost function. So this is what we are doing. We are taking the AL minus 1, the activation units of the L minus 1 layer, to calculate the activation units outputs of the AL or Lth layer. For that, we are taking WL and BL. We are initially randomly initializing the values of W and B based on the previous inputs, or we can say the features. By using the features of the training sample, we are calculating the AL, and based on A1 we are calculating A2, and based on A2 again we are calculating A3. This process continues until we get the predicted output of the last layer. Now every time we are caching the ZL, we are storing the ZL. By using this ZL, we are differentiating DZL. This DZL is nothing but the differentiation of the loss function with respect to Z. So in the back propagation, we are calculating the DAL minus 1 when the input is DAL. In this process, we are obtaining DW and DB. These two are useful to us in the gradient descent. So first we are writing, we have taken X, which is nothing but A superscript 0. By using this A0, A superscript 0, we have calculated the A1, and from this we have calculated the A2. Finally, we have calculated the AL predicted output. Every time we have cached the Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on. By using this AL or Y cap, the predicted output, we have calculated the DAL. DAL is nothing but differentiation of the loss function with respect to A. So this DAL is nothing but dou L by dou AL. This is what we have calculated. And by using this DAL, we are calculating the DAL minus 1. In this mean process, we are getting the DW and DBL. By using This DAL minus 1, we are calculating DAL minus 2. By using DA3, we have calculated DA2. By using DA2, we have calculated DA1. In the meanwhile, we got DW3, DB3, DW2, DB2. And when we calculated the DA1, then at the time we are getting DW1 and DB1. We are substituting this dW and dB values in the gradient descent. While substituting these values in the gradient descent, by using this, we are minimizing the cost function. And finally, when we get the minimum value of the cost function, then the proper values of the W and B are obtained. By using this W and B, we can fix these W and B values as weights of the neural network or parameters of the neural network. Now our neural network is ready for the prediction. If you give one photograph, it is ready to tell who is there in this photograph, or to recognize whether this particular person is that person we are expecting or not. So in the forward propagation, the first step we are performing is ZL is equal to WL into AL minus 1 plus BL. The second step is AL is equal to GL of ZL. This G is the activation function. When we vectorize this, the W will not change and B will not change. Only thing that is changing is A, small a to capital A. In this capital A, we are having the activation units of that particular layer of all training samples. This small al minus 1 is a single column matrix, whereas this capital Al minus 1 is a matrix consisting of m columns. Now we are discussing the backward propagation for layer L. In the backward propagation, the DZL, which is nothing but dou L by dou Z. So first we are interested in calculating dou L by dou W, which is nothing but dW. This is required for our gradient descent. In order to calculate the dou L by dou W, we are expecting to calculate dou L by dou A, because the loss function depending on only A and Y. And we are differentiating this A with respect to Z, and we are differentiating this Z with respect to W. Remember, this dou L by dou A, for our convenience, we are calling as dA. And the product of dou L by dou A and dou A by dou Z, we are calling for our convenience as dZ. And the product of all these three terms, we are calling as dW. So first, to find the dW, we should find the dZ. To find the dZ, we should find the dA. Already we calculated the dA value previously. The dA value, because already we know A is nothing but the predicted output. So dA means dou L by dou A. L is minus Y log A plus 1 minus Y log 1 minus A. When we differentiated, we got minus Y by A. This is dA. Minus Y by A plus 1 minus Y by 1 minus A. This is fixed. For the last layer, we are calculating, depending upon the layer, this value we can represent. So by using this dA, this dA into dou A by dou Z, means we are differentiating that activation function with respect to, or we are differentiating that activation unit with respect to Z. So here we are writing the differentiation as G prime. So dZ is the product of dou L by dou A into dou A by dou Z. In the second step, we are interested in calculating dW. What is this dW? dZ into dou Z by dou W. What is this dou Z by dou W? Already we calculated. Already we know Z is equal to ZL is equal to WL into AL minus 1 plus BL. So if we differentiate this ZL with respect to WL, we will get AL minus 1. That is what we have written here. Similarly, when we want the dB, That dB is nothing but, so we can write this dB is nothing but dou L by dou B. So this dou L by dou B is equal to dou L by dou A, and we can write this as dou A by dou Z and dou Z by dou B. Already we discussed dou L by dou A into dou A by dou Z, we can write as a dZ. So this dZ into dou Z by dou B. What is this dou Z by dou B? Already we know ZL is equal to WL into AL minus 1 plus BL. So when we are differentiating this ZL with respect to BL, first term is 0, second term is 1. So dz into 1. So dB of L is dz into 1. So by using the dA, we have calculated the dz. By using the dz, we have calculated the dW, and by using the dz, we have calculated the dB. Again, we are writing this, the previous layer dAl minus 1 is equal to WL transpose into DZL. Means if we want to get dA3, this is equal to W4 transpose into dz of 4. So this is the step, these are the steps we iterate even if there are 1000 layers. The back propagation, by using the back propagation, in every iteration we are getting DWL and DBL. DW1000, DB1000, DW999, DB999. We are using this dB and dW in the gradient descent. This is the vectorized version of the representation. Instead of d small a, now we are taking the d capital A. Whenever we are now the vectorized version, we are performing for all training samples. So this DAL is the matrix which is consisting of m training samples. Each column is representing that particular training sample. And whenever we want to find the DWL, it is 1 by m, because we are performing the average into DZL into AL minus 1 into transpose. Here also we have to take the transpose. Now DBL is equal to 1 by m into, because we want to perform the column wise sum, and numpy dot sum DZL axis equal to 1. This will find the column wise sum, and keep dimensions is equal to true, which is making the dimension whenever we are getting some 3 comma, here we are getting 3 comma 1. Okay, in the last step we are writing D capital A, and W will not change even though when we use single training sample or M training samples, the dimensions of W will not change. The DZ. This is how we have vectorized the back propagation. So this is the summary what we have performed. So first we have taken the X. We are taking the rectified linear units, the hidden as for the hidden activation units, rectified linear unit as the function. We have performed, first we have, by using the A superscript 0, we calculated the A1. By using A1, we have calculated A2. Similarly, by using the A2, we have calculated A3 and so on. Finally, we have calculated the AL, the last layer activation units, which are giving the predicted outputs. By using these predicted outputs, we have calculated the DA. By using these predicted outputs, first we have by using these predicted outputs, first we have calculated the loss function, which is giving the relationship between y cap and y. This y cap is only a. Then we have calculated the dA. dA is nothing but minus y by a plus 1 minus y by 1 minus a. By using this DAL, we calculated DAL minus 1. By using the DA3, we calculated DA2. By using DA2, we have calculated DA1. In the meanwhile, we are getting DW and DB terms. We use these DW and DB terms in the gradient descent to find the minimum value of the cost function. When we get the minimum value of the cost function, we extract the W and B, and we substitute those W and B's in the neural network to predict the output. This is what we are doing in the deep neural network.